Hey guys, it's Felicia here to give you some more singing tips. I'm a video making machine. I even have some decorative flowers in the background, so you know that it's serious. This video is called The 3 Things That You Can Do to Improve Your Singing Immediately. And I decided to make it because I thought, what are the top things that hold singers back? And what are some things that can can deliver you immediate results in the short term? The first thing you can do that's going to give you the most bang for your buck is work on your breathing. And if you've seen my other videos, you know I harp on this a lot, and I'm never going to stop. Breathing is so important for singing, and I think it's something that people actually neglect to work on because they might have a great tone. They might be very good at styling songs. Even if you consider yourself to be a good singer, I would suggest that you continually work on your breathing. It's probably my biggest gripe when I work with younger singers especially who think that they can build a house without a foundation, which is your breath. So here are some ways to increase your breath support and control. What I want you to do is to just take 5 minutes of your time every day when you wake up and then at night before you go to bed to perform the following exercise. And basically what it is you're going to inhale using your diaphragm, 360-degree inhale, and then you're going to perform a slow exhale on a hiss sound. And basically the idea is you want to fill yourself up as much as you can with breath and air, and then you want to exhale as slowly as you can. So basically you're trying to make your exhale as long as possible. And you can kind of play a game with yourself and count how many counts that is. So maybe on day 1 you can only do it for 7 counts. Maybe the next day it's a little bit longer. And then over time you'll see your breath capacity is actually way more powerful than you think. And so it's an issue both of being able to fill up your tank with even more and more air every day, and then controlling it even more. So it'll look something like an inhale, as much air as you can, and you can just feel the air coming out. I mean, you can keep going. But that's something that if you do this every day, and you really work to increase your capacity, think of it as going to the gym and working out and kind of increasing your weight every few days when you're ready. You don't just want to settle for, okay, I can take a short breath and that's it. I can only exhale for 3 beats. Oh well. No, it's not just that you are destined to not be able to breathe well. It's just that you haven't practiced it and you haven't really explored your full capacity. That's an easy way for you to improve your breathing on a day-to-day basis and to get immediate results, I'd say after about a couple days and definitely a week. The second thing that you can do to improve your singing immediately is to work on your resonance and your resonance space. So when I describe resonance to singers, I say, imagine a guitar, okay? A guitar has strings stretching across it. When you pluck a string on a guitar, it creates a beautiful, rich sound. But if you were to take that string and pluck it in the air, it would sound burnt, 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 very flat, almost like you're strumming an elastic band. The same goes for your vocal cords. You don't create beautiful, rich sound just by focusing on the chord itself. In fact, that can be very damaging. If you were to just pluck a vocal cord in isolation, it would not create the beautiful sound that we associate with good singing. Instead, we need to use our body like an instrument, like a guitar, and really utilize our resonant space. And the space I'm talking about in particular is your face and your pharynx, which is actually behind your nose in the mask area of your face, which is here. So what you can do is work on creating a resonant space to help basically bounce the sound and use your pharynx to create a richer sound. Another way you can also think about it is like a cathedral. I talk about it like a cathedral dome. If you're singing in a cathedral, right, you can create a beautiful sound. But if you hang out in the back lobby near the exit, you're not going to really take advantage of that beautiful dome. So here's how to do it. The first thing you can do is think of the word hung. H-U-N-G. And the N-G is really the part that we're interested in because hung, saying that hung, and closing up the back of your throat allows you to feel your pharynx, okay? Hung, and the sound kind of comes out of this frontal area and actually your nose. Now what I want you to do is strike the hung and then take your tongue down and remain in that forward space. So it'll be hung, so hung, kind of. Hung, You can access your space that way. Another way to do it is to try to create a really nasty sound. Ironically, sometimes I tell my students, just don't be afraid of making a gross, nasty sound in your warm-ups and in your practice, because that's going to actually make it ultimately sound very rich and beautiful. So first we have to kind of overemphasize a forward resonant space here by making a nya, GN sound, nya. I say, think of Fran Drescher from The Nanny, yeah, like that. Sometimes it helps to also kind of go like that with your face, to tilt the back of your mouth and also to engage your pharynx. So if you work on these two exercises, hung-a or hung-gi, and usually I just do a hung-gi, 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 ha, or if you do a nya, in simple nya, 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 you'll start to see that for most singers, you're not making use of that resonant space. If your voice feels very far back, oh, la la la, I'm singing, placed here, and you're not actually utilizing this powerful, beautiful resonant space, then you're not really getting the most out of your voice, and you're not using a technique that will create a more powerful, rich sound. So that's my second tip, and it's to work on resonance. The last thing that I see that hampers so many students is tension. And so the third thing I'm going to recommend is to work on relaxation techniques. It's going to improve your singing tremendously right away, in the short term and in the long term. The first part of the relaxation is going to address your larynx or your voice box. And the second part of the relaxation I'm going to talk about addresses your whole body, and it talks about staying grounded as you sing. So your larynx is your voice box, and the goal when we sing, whether we're belting, whether we're singing soprano, whether we're in a speaking range, is to keep our larynx neutral. So we don't want our larynx to pop up, which happens when if you're singing and you feel like you're hitting a ceiling or it's straining, chances are you're probably over singing on your chord, but your larynx is probably also riding up. So here are two things you can do to keep your larynx neutral. The first is to think of the vowel UH. When you sing UH, it usually and naturally will open the back of your throat and will make your larynx float down. Ah, just a nice UH. Ah, even if you're belting, ah, UH, ah, and you're resonating off here. It really helps to even just visualize it subtly. That's one way to instantly neutralize your larynx. So one way you can do this is if you're singing a song that's challenging, you find you're tensing, go back to a nice easy UH sound, sing it on a scale, or even apply it to the song you're singing through vowel modification. The other thing you can do to relax your larynx is to do something called vocal fry. Now, vocal fry sometimes gets a bad rap because we think it's damaging. Vocal fry sometimes is used incorrectly to mean when you're grating your voice. What I'm talking about is a specific sound you can do that sounds like this. It's not pleasant, but it's you just very subtly rubbing your chords together in a way that's relaxing them, and it actually gets your larynx to chill out. So if you've been practicing really hard, if you feel like you have overworked your voice, or even if you're in the shower and you're warming up and you want to kind of loosen up your chords and relax your larynx, just do simple vocal fry in between vocalizations or before you sing a song, and it really helps. It's not damaging, it's actually very good for your chords. The second part of relaxation that I think will help you immediately in the short term is to work on thinking down. When you're singing high, specifically when you're belting or you're singing a song and you're tensing in your throat or your neck, I want you to thrust your focus down to the bottom of your body. Don't think about singing as happening up here. Think of it as happening down here. And my favorite technique is the butt clench. It basically is this, that you engage your butt, your gluteal muscles, and what that helps you do is it helps you activate the bottom part of your core, which helps you use your diaphragm, but it's mental more than anything else. If you kind of tighten your butt whenever you hit a high note, or whenever you're working on something that makes you feel like you're straining, don't think about this. Relax this, and instead, think about supplying some more groundedness to the bottom of your body, like your butt. So those are my 3 tips for improving your singing immediately. I guarantee that if you work on these 3 things, you're going to find that your voice is suddenly becoming much freer, and you're going to love the changes that you see as you continue to work on improving your technique. Thanks for watching, guys.